Welcome, everyone. Oh my God. This is stupid. How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for tuning in. Yesterday, we had a very busy one, didn't we? We were recording all the way from 8 my time all the way till 12:10. It was good recording. It was good recording. Talked a lot about a lot of stuff. We had a very important guest. Oh my God, I forgot to bring my coffee. Okay, would you guys mind if I go grab my coffee and come back? Because I thought I had my coffee with me and shit, but be right back. Well, sorry about all of that delay. I thought I grabbed my cup of coffee. Turns out I didn't. I heated up the milk. Oh, yeah. Today was not a good day for me. I did not hear the alarm, or the alarm did not go off. I did not wake up at 6:30. I woke up at 7:50 something. I couldn't prepare. I didn't finish my article. I didn't invite a guest. So, you know, I barely caught up to the Malcolm Nance podcast, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Yes, you can put your questions here. I thought I shared this. I did not. I hope you guys had a good time with Deborah Amos because she was very. If you had a good time watching her, I hope you subscribe to her or became a paid subscriber because if I'm being honest with you, she was overwhelmed by the support that you guys gave her and was very pleased and didn't know that this is uh, the reaction that she would get. That was her first live stream on Substack. So she hasn't been on live on Substack before. And we were able to get her on. I believe that we might be able to get her back on again. I don't know if you know, but we've been talking to each other since maybe 2019. Yeah. So I've known her for a minute. Um, and uh, I also have some contacts with the BBC and other channels and stuff. I've been on France 24 or yeah, so like it's not like you're talking to a nobody, you know? I'm glad that you guys liked her. What you guys think of uh my new feature up here, the Agal and the Tagia? Actually, so this is not cheap. This was custom made specifically for me. It was tailored. It was seasoned with the oud oil, which is agar wood oil. It's very, very expensive. And, it's very nice. It was custom made and shipped from the Middle East to me. Now I'm making custom made one of these, but it's way more professional, made for the sheikhs and the kings and stuff. So that one is being made as well, custom tailored. You see, Arabic clothes is always tailored. And because it's always tailored, or you can get it ready, you can choose how well you want it to be made. Some people want just everyday thing, let's get with it, whatever it is. Others want something no one has. Others want something practical. Because they're all custom made, you are able to do whatever you want. Unlike American clothes, you don't get to tailor anything anymore. There's so many shortcuts. There's so much weird things happening in our industry when it comes to clothes. But the problem. One thing with the Arabic clothes, one big problem is that when you're wearing a dress all the time, you don't know when your body's expanding and you're gaining weight. But like when you're wearing jeans and pants, as soon as you hit it, or you're like, oh shit, yep, that doesn't fit anymore. With a thobe, because it's a dress and it's like a little bit like bigger than you, as you expand, before you hit that limit of the thobe, you don't know you're expanding. That's one big problem. Or you could say it benefit, especially during Thanksgiving. I always on Thanksgiving when I get invited, I wear a thobe. People think because I'm being traditionally, professional, showing up. Huh? No, 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 no. It's because when I eat on Thanksgiving, I cannot. When I'm wearing jeans and pants, I have to unzip the pants, or you have to take off the belt. It's a little bit unprofessional. But when you're wearing thobe, halas, you don't worry about Thanksgiving. So all the ladies wearing dresses on Thanksgiving, they're okay. All the men wearing jeans, pants, I'm sorry for you. You should change your clothing. You should start wearing dresses too, like Arabs. I don't mind if you start wearing a dress. No, Irish people doing fine, because they have their own dress too. Japanese people also fine when they're wearing the kimono and stuff. They're not. They expand a little, but it's still, you got some space. You got some wiggle room. Uh, they need to make clothes for people that like to eat a lot. Because the thing about people that eat a lot, they skinny, and then once they eat, their body expand. But then they're skinny again. But that's not everyone. There's few people. And then they need to make more clothes for fat people. You have to go to a place and if you go to Dillard's, if you go to the normal mall and you're a big size person in America or in the Middle East you have better time because you can custom made. But in America, no. The problem in America is you have to go to specific stores, DXL, or something like that. You can't go to Dillard's. You can't go to Macy's. You can't go to Nordstrom. They don't have clothes for you, even if you got the money to spend it. You have to tailor. And if you want to find a tailor in the United States, what is this? You pay, if you go to a Somali guy and tailor, you'd be better off in Minneapolis. The Somali brothers, mashallah, I went to them and I was like, I want to tailor a thobe from you. He's like, okay, brother, if you just grab me the cloth, if you just grab the, I will do the tailoring for you for $80. I said, what? $80? Okay, Habibi, I'm coming back. I need to go find the cloth and come back. So you have to find the people that can tailor for you, but $5,000 is too much to tailor, y'all. What is this? Tailoring became so expensive in America, and it didn't become the norm. We are more focused on fast fashion that does few things. Fast fashion support child labor, support modern slavery, support horrible chemical waste into the environment, supports crime, and also, on the other hand, creates so much waste. Instead of you buying, few nice stuff that can last you very long time, that you can wear, that you can have for certain occasions, no. Everyone wants now to show up with a different outfit every day, every second. And every time you look at people's closet, they have more clothes than they need. Not everyone, majority of people. Look at their closet, tell them to tell them which is the shirt they wear every day and which shirts they wear on special occasions and what is the things that they haven't worn in the last year. The last year would be like this. Really? So, you should have clothes that you should wear on occasions. Yes. You should have clothes that you can wear for going out. Yes. You should have clothes for going to school. Yes. Those are different clothes for different occasions. But the fact that people are going so far of just wanting to catch up to every single trend in the market is the exact point of the oligarch monopoly that we have that is so focused on consumption. You know, I have I have a lot of ties. None of them I bought new. I have a lot of ties. None of them I bought or gotten new. Why? I had good friends that made them custom made. They tailored it. They passed away. And guess what? That doesn't go to trash. that gets handed down to the next generation. I got the honor of having it next, and I wear it on the most special occasions because they're meant to last generations. That's the meaning of custom made. Not a brand name, not a Chanel, not a Gucci, not a LV, something that has more meaning because you made it specifically for you. There's no one else that has the exact same thing as this. No, I have this regal that was made specifically for me. Good morning, Greg. So people need to rethink about their consumption strategy. People need to rethink about the brand names they're putting on their shirts. Why are you paying a company so they can put their advertisement on your clothes everywhere you go? Why is it your job to spread their advertisement rather than them delivering a product for you? Why is the product now is the brand rather than the product itself? Have you thought about that? That's a marketing scheme. Everyone is falling for it. Everyone. Buy something that would last you forever. Don't buy something because it has a brand name. There's many professionals out there that have dissected tens of thousands of purses, tens of thousands of leather goods from all of the most expensive luxury goods. And they have told you exactly why you are overpaying for all of their products because they're using the exact same cheap products everyone else is using. They're just putting their brand name on it, and you are falling for the trap. They have stuff that you can get custom made from these luxury goods, but you can never afford that. You cannot afford 10,000 or 20,000 contour from Dior or Chanel. Can you do contour? Is that what it's called? What is it called? You guys know what it's called when you get from a very luxury brand, you get to custom made. What is it? Contour? No. What is it called? If you guys remember, the ones they put it on the Uh, contour. Yeah, contour. I was right. You cannot do contour. And contour basically means tailored. It's a fancy word for these luxury brands to say we do tailor because they do tailor. And their tailor product are way different in class than your other product. Okay, let me explain this to you. These brands want to reach the middle class because they know they can make a lot more money selling cheaper goods of their own brands to the middle class where you fall and you spend your top dollar on their cheap products, right? But then they have the contour. They have the upper class, which you would never imagine of paying. Ralph Lauren, Polo, that you like to buy from. They have something called the purple label. Purple label is the actual good quality of Ralph Lauren. Anything else you're getting is you're getting it made in Taiwan, you're getting it made in India, you're getting it made in China. You're not getting your worth money. You're not getting the extra cloth. You're not getting the extra uh, tailoring. You're not getting so you have way more critical spots that are easy to break. You're spending your top dollar on a very cheap product. But when you look at their purple label, all of a sudden it's tailor made in America. You get it? Same thing with diamonds. Same thing with diamonds. Don't think you're buying like some yellow diamonds, blue diamonds are considered investment pieces. But don't go into a jewelry store thinking you're buying a diamond right in front of you and you're buying an investment piece. You're not. The diamond industry from the beginning was designed as a hack. They had more quantity than the demand is, so they decreased the quantity that was available for the market because the people that owned the mine that got you those mines were only one people. So what's the point of buying natural diamonds with lower quality if the price will depreciate right away once you get out? There are investment pieces in diamonds. But once when you go into a regular store that you're getting a wedding ring from, you're not getting an investment piece. Anything below $5,000 usually is not an investment piece. I know that. I have friends in the industry. Anything below $5,000, that was 10 years ago, maybe 5, 6 years ago. Sorry. Anything below $5,000, you're paying mostly on advertisement, branding, and strategy. How determined purple label? It says purple label, and it's not available at your regular stores. It has to be at some of their flagship stores. You have to go to a flagship store or what they like to call a boutique. Now, those jewelry companies do very something very interesting you need to understand before you go buy jewelry. I will get into politics. I'm just getting this stuff ready because I already got into it. I want to finish it. When you go to a jewelry store, you have to understand that most of the jewelry in that jewelry store, depending if it's a regular jewelry store, they don't own most of the jewelry that is in front of them. Depending on the jewelry store, most of them, what they do in the industry, the common thing, I'm not saying all of them, the common thing is they have a store. And when I open a store, companies come to me from India, from China, from Russia, from Italy, from France, and they come to me with products. The products I pick from them, I put a half down deposit and I keep that in my store. If I sell their product, I take a cut. If their product is not sold by the end of few months or a year, whatever the agreement is, the product is sent back and they get their down deposit. That is most of the strategy. So usually the margins of quality of closer to value, depending on what you're buying, but majority of the jewelry above $5,000, if you're not looking at specific brand names, if you're just looking at quality, the quality of the gem, the quality of the metal, above $5,000, you're starting to look at investments. You're looking, and those are smart people because what they do is they look for certain stones. They find the stones of certain quality. They go to a jeweler with those specific stones, or they find a jeweler with specific type of rare stones that no one else has: yellow diamond, pink diamond, uh, untreated emeralds, some ruby that is flawless. So there are opals are worth way more than diamonds. Okay, you have to find those things first. You have to find the one that fits you, and then you have to go to a jeweler that you trust, and then you custom made something, and that is an investment piece. Some people go for brand names. I buy Rolex, I buy Patek, I buy Cartier. I'm not necessarily watches now. Cartier, you can go into Tiffany, you can go into jewelry. Okay. But those are people who are trusting that this brand at some point is going to increase in value. You're investing in a brand. Cool. The people who are mostly investing in brands, they're trying to invest in a certain social class. You just have to be honest about what you're investing in. Am I looking for quality? Am I looking for a statement piece? Am I looking for people to recognize I got money? Whatever you want. Thank you for listening. Thanks for attending my TED Talk. Yeah, that's what it is. Thanks for attending my TED Talk. Now, let's get to the real issues of the day. Away from jewelry, away from tailored clothes, away from the oligarchs who are trying to rob us from the basic things that everyone should have, away from the fact that you are in a Ponzi scheme everywhere in the United States almost. Let's look at what's happening in the Middle East. Millions of people have attended the funeral prayer of for the Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei and the four members of his family killed in the U.S. Israeli airstrike on his compound on February 28th. The red Iranians carried the red flag, symbolizing a call for revenge, as the chant "Death to America" and "Death to Israel" ring out outside Tehran's largest mosque. In addition to that, public speakers on the funeral of Khamenei have come out publicly calling for the assassination of Donald Trump, saying, "Why shouldn't we assassinate him if he killed our Imam?" I believe Donald Trump, Netanyahu, has put targets on their back for the rest of their life. This is not me calling for it. This is me understanding the situation. It's like fucking with a mob, but this time they're a real country. A mobster or a mob, they never forget. They're like camels. If you mistreat them once and they see you 30 years later, they will kill you. It happens. Actually, this is real. Camels do that. You got to be good to camels or they'll take their revenge on you. They have good memory and they have amazing recognition. They're some of the smartest animals out there. And they get jealous and pissed off. Mostly if they see women for some reason. They're sexist like that. If you ever go to a zoo and you see a camel with like whole bunch of like weird foam coming out of his mouth, that's usually because he's pissed off. So the Iranians are this pissed off camel at the moment in the zoo. No, not in the zoo. Actually, they're in the wild. They're waiting to see you pass by. They're waiting their chance. This is what I see. This is what I'm going to call it. you know, U.S. President Donald Trump says neither side will shoot the other during the funeral proceedings, and talks with Iran will continue after the ceremony. So he's saying that there will be, the talks are still going, but we're going to give them a break. We ain't doing shit now. They're doing their processions. So, Israel, you better sit your ass down. I don't know if this is more a message to Israel or a message to the Iranians or both. But wasn't he supposed to meet with Netanyahu? Did he meet with Netanyahu, guys? I think there will be some people inspired by what's happening. I don't think any sleeper cell will move anytime soon because this would be a direct escalation to the situation. But there might be individual actors that might be radicalized on their own, which has happened. That's not good. We don't want anyone to act. We don't want a terrorist attack. We need to calm the situation. Americans need to apologize. They need to come to a conclusion. And the Iranians, they need to come to a point where Iranians could say, okay, Trump, we forgive you. We forgive you. Give us another $1 trillion. We forgive you. You won't have a target on your back. We will forgive you. Just pay us. Donald, we will tell our people to leave you alone. I don't know if they're saying that to him, but he should be thinking about that. I don't know if anyone has told him that, but I think the people. I told you guys. I told Donald Trump. I said people around him don't like him. They don't care about him because if they did, they would tell him, Donnie, we love you, but let me tell you, the Iranians will make you a target for the rest of your life. If you are a good advisor, you would tell him that. The Secret Service, once you leave the presidency, you're not as secure as the president. It's not like before. You have Secret Service, but you don't have the whole Secret Service. You don't move in the beast. Did you see that New York Times report? I did not see the report, but that makes sense that Mushtaba suffered severe burns, high risk of infection. Severe burn. There in the hospital. There's something called the burn unit. That's usually for people that have severe burns or really, really, really horrible infections. So if that's true and he is incapacitated, that just proves some of my theories that I mentioned to you 2 days ago. What did I tell you? Told you there's a few theories. One, he's being held hostage. Two, he's incapacitated. Three, dead. And then there was a fourth one I forgot. Anyways, so those guys, that's go. Khalas, I mean, like, if that's the case, I don't know how they got that information. Iran is going to be in a lot of trouble. Iran is going to be in a lot of trouble because technically, and I told you guys this, the supreme leader is the one that's supposed to lead the prayer on the last supreme leader. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. What's going on? Bandy Down says burn victims can't go anywhere. They're at super high risk of infection and and also have terrible scars, which he won't want seen when they are open and seeking and gross. Oh, seeking. A question. After you're done with those burn, could you do surgeries to remove the and could you do like plastic surgeries to change that and look normal again, or is that too hard? I guess it probably depends on the degree of the injury. Anyways, so Iran is at a difficult situation. Oh, they do skin. Okay. Graphite. Thank you for that answer. Graphite. Graphite. Graphites. Grats. Graphites. Yeah, whatever that is. Your enunciation in English is weird, okay? Arabic is so easy. I'm just joking. So, Israel military chief addresses troops in occupied southern Lebanon and promised a rapid attack if the ceasefire is breached by Hezbollah. W- someone explain. What do you mean? You are inside Lebanon. You're occupying their space. And you're saying that they are going to be breaking the ceasefire? You technically haven't broken the ceasefire because you are occupying the space? Wouldn't you have supposed to gone back to where you came from? Just being honest. You could hold your buffer at the border. You're not forced to be inside Lebanon. You're choosing to be inside Lebanon. Israel, help me help you. Let us be Habibis. Calm down a little bit. Go back to your borders. You want Abrahamic Accord? Make it easy on me. You can't be occupying Lebanon, occupying Syria, occupying Gaza, occupying everything else, and then you want us to push the Abrahamic Accord. Everyone is pissed off. You can't be adding gasoline to the fire and let's go, let's do Abrahamic Accord. What do you mean, let's do Abrahamic Accord? Come back, Habibi, come back. Relax. Have a cup of tea, have a cup of tea, have a cup of tea. Learn something from the Iranians. Take a cup of tea, relax, change your doctrine of escalation. Maybe that will fix the problem. Maybe your escalation issue that you have as your military doctrine needs to change a little bit. You can't be You can't see. I mean, like you have doctors in Israel, don't you? Ask the doctor if you have a illness and the medication is not working. What do? You go back to the doctor, and the doctor does what? Give you a different prescription. Your prescription since the beginning is escalation. Has it worked? Since you have started as a country, your doctrine is escalation. Khalas, it hasn't worked. You only made friends with UAE and you made friends with Somaliland. Good for you. The rest of the globe is looking at you sideways. Really? Apparently, some liberals support you and the far right support you. Also, not all the far right anymore. The far right now has more anti Semitism than the liberals. You should be afraid of the far right, but yet you support them. The only reason the far right supports Israel is because they believe in a conspiracy theory, is that if they push Israeli corruption to a certain extent, that's the conspiracy theory they have. The day of judgment will come and the Messiah will come and Jesus will be here and khalas, we will have the day of judgment. First of all, you hate this world so much. Why do you want the day of judgment for the rest of us? We are happy as it is. We want peace. I want You believe you're going to heaven? Let me enjoy my earth. You go to your heaven. Let me sit down, enjoy the beach. Let me enjoy the mountain. Let me live my life. Why you want to start the day of just what's up with your conspiracy theories? Every cartoon, every movie starts with that type of conspiracy theory. Someone wants to end the world. Why? Because they believe that ending the world will solve all human issues. Every cartoon, Naruto, what else? I forgot. But the rest of them, every movie, some one person wants to achieve superpower to bring the day of judgment. We have it. We have them, and we have them. We have them between the Muslims. We have them between the Christians, and I don't know if we have them between the Jews. I have never met them, but I know we have them. I've seen them between the Muslims. I've met Muslims that are like, yeah, we need to bring the day of judgment. We're so close to the day of judgment. This type of conspiracy theory is there. So I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing for these people. Really. You guys are embarrassing yourself. And the only actually you asked me how I learned about that conspiracy theories in between the evangelical conservative Americans. I learned it in college in Middle Eastern politics. I didn't learn from it from a vlog. I didn't learn it from the internet. I learned it from school. That it was in our education books. I'm not bringing something out of my ass or something. Excuse my language. But yeah, they want you to keep living in darkness. Yesterday with Deborah Amos, I learned a shocking fact. She told me the Israelis did not see the war as the rest of the world saw it. I was confused for a second. What do you mean they didn't see the world like the rest of the world saw it? She's talking about the war in Gaza. She said that the Israeli government and the media made sure that what was happening in Gaza was not put on Israeli media. Killing of innocent civilians, the killing of children, the killing of women, the children of. They didn't show any of that. The destruction of property, they didn't show any of that to the Israelis. So, according to the Israelis, they have been basically living in a bubble, that they are the victims, that the Palestinians and Hezbollah and Hamas are all planning on the Arab world, is all planning against them. It's not an excuse, it's an explanation. Sandra, I'm not excusing anyone, but we have to understand how shit happens and why they happen. You know, the cause of the problem brings you ideas for a solution. I'm not excusing any action here. We are reporting facts. When you are in a bubble, like a lot of Americans are in a bubble, like you guys are not innocent of being in a bubble in the West. You ask anyone in the West how you get your fruits, how you get your vegetables, where do they come from, where do you get your clothes, where do you get your phone, where do you get your technology, where do you get everything that you have? They have absolutely no idea what goes in the background in terms of corruption, in terms of human oppression, in terms of human slavery, in terms of all of whatever happens in the background. All you see is the end product. You have not been to the swamps of India. You have not been to the swamps of Egypt. You have not been to the swamps of Syria. You have not been to the swamps of Afghanistan. You have not been to the swamps of Bangladesh. You have not been to the swamps of did I say Pakistan? Yes, I did. And then you're like, everything is fine. No, even your volunteerism is making corruption. Some people in the US want to do something good in the world. So they find some type of nonprofit or organization without doing their due diligence, but because they have good marketing and good branding in the US, they seem like a very good front. And they might as well have good intentions. But the problem with volunteerism is they end up going to places where they apparently go volunteer help at a orphan house in the Philippines or Thailand or somewhere. What they don't know is that that orphan house has orphans that don't speak the language of the people that are coming. And these orphans were all kidnapped from their family members. They had parents, they had family, they were kidnapped. This is not a conspiracy, it's reported on. This is based on studies that we have done, based on leadership and based on nonprofits and based on helping other countries. You might as well have the good intentions of helping the world. And you might as well hear about something horrible that happened and you want to do something about it. But you also need to do a lot of work on finding out what are the organizations on the ground in that country that is fighting corruption, that is trying to bring justice, that is actually trusted by the people who are on the ground. You have to bring your own translators that you trust. You have to bring your own people that you trust in the culture, and then you can get involved. I believe that creating partnerships between nonprofits here and nonprofits there is the way to build that bridge to make sure that We have better ways. There's many ways that I interviewed a professor that specialized at that at Kansas State University. It's an actual big problem that we have. So that's just one example. And then a lot of people don't know that some people that want to go to countries that are third world countries and adopt kids, they don't know that many of these kids are also kidnapped. Just so this adopting agency could be selling these kids. So what are we doing? Human trafficking at this point? The conspiracy for human trafficking at this point is real, but we have to be honest of who's committing it. You might as well want to do a good thing, but you might have hurt another family because you didn't do your due diligence. So yeah, this is not talking about this, and this is talking about the people who are trying to help. This is still not talking about the people who are trying to take advantage of the Middle East. The reality is, these countries depend on horrible cheap labor, and our corporations are taking advantage of countries that don't have any labor laws to protect those cheap labors so they can violate human rights so you can get your own product. Very interesting. I have some interesting news for Monday. Currently, there is a great Hormuz evacuation for the first time since the war choked regional trade. In the late February, shipping registers recorded a massive physical unwinding of blocking inside of the Persian Gulf. A fleet of 10 standard Japan linked commercial vessels, including six very large crude carriers, loaded with 12 million barrels of Saudi oil and Saudi Emirati and Qatari crude, successfully exited the Strait of Hormuz. Additionally, South Korea refiners confirmed that the super tank Long Wide cleared the checkpoint over the weekend. And this is to mention that the only reason Japan and Korea were able to leave the Strait of Hormuz isn't just for this evacuation. They actually had to break a deal with Iran, and they broke a deal with Iran. They came with an agreement. They're paying the $2 million in yen, sorry, and they're going with their business. It's better than getting your ship towed with the Iranians. Pay the 2 million now, or pay 5 million to get your ship untowed and back to the market. Yeah, it's a bad it's a no brainer deal, right? So the tall maneuver that Iran has at the World Peace Forum in Beijing, Iran ambassador to China says that he announced that Tehran is actively designing a new maritime transit framework with Oman. The protocol process now service the transit toll fee arrangement block brokered with the U.S. experience. Sorry, with the U.S. Express. I need to enlarge this. Notably, Tehran indicated that nations that provided strategic support to Iran during the conflict will receive pref- uh, perf- like preferable discounted rates. So if you're China or Pakistan or India or any of the Russia, and you have supported Iran through this difficult situation, Iranians will give you a good Iranian discount, a friend and family discount. Speaking friend of family, do you guys know that law enforcement in the United States know how fucked up their law enforcement is to the point where they have to issue a family and friends card from the police union to their friends and family. So if they get pulled over by another police officer, they can show them this card so they don't get mistreated. Did you know that? I need to find a police friend, tell him to give me a card. I'm Arab. I don't know. Maybe should I get one? Do I need one at this point? Would ICE? Do you think ICE would stop? Uh, so you fucking need. Oh my god, what is this, Val? Like, did you guys? This is crazy. There is a kinetic resurgence in Nabatea. The fragile border truce between Israel and Lebanon faced a direct disruption over the last 24 hours. It's been facing direct disruption the whole time. I don't know what 24 hours they're talking about. It's been the whole time. Israeli at the IDF executed an airstrike targeting Hezbollah motorcycle, not even motorcade, motorcycle cell in the village of Al Aqidi near the outskirts of Nabatea. The IDF claimed the cell possessed an imminent threat forward, holding itself declared security zone currently. Lebanon National News Agency reported localized Israeli dem- demolition, explosions, and artillery shelling along the border. So, first of all, just a second ago, I was reading to you that the IDF, the head of the IDF, was telling the soldiers that, oh, we'll be holding the ceasefire and we'll be keeping an eye on whether the Hezbollah will be breaking the ceasefire. And just what I'm reading is saying that Israel is still conducting kinetic attacks. So there's no ceasefire. Now the Israelis are like, we have captured tunnels and we have conducted the inspections of these tunnels and logistic hubs, and that we are dismantling, and that they are conducting a U.S. hosted framework that the Lebanese armed forces must immediately execute their mandate to clear the remaining border zone of Hezbollah cells. They're literally telling the Lebanese army to do the impossible at this point. Lebanon, that gets few $100 million from other countries every other year for their military, now is expected to face off $1 billion annual budget Hezbollah. Make it make sense. So, according to the market, three major economic forces drove today's market drop. First is the visible physical exit of 12 million barrels of crude via the Japan linked fleet, removed immediate localized deficit fear. Second thing was the OPEC finalized a formal production target increase of 188,000 barrels per day for August of 2026 to gradually offset global shortfalls. Finally, a record-setting global strategic petroleum reserve release coordinated by the International Energy Agency ac- um with the Chinese import demand, has successfully continued the historic 1 billion barrel physical deficit accumulated since February 28th. So there are actual reasons that has nothing to do with Donald Trump at the moment to why the prices of oil are dropping. One, they saw that the Japanese were able to start crossing their ships. Two, OPEC said that they will increase production by almost 200,000 barrels a day. That's an increase. That's not the total. That's an increase. No, no, no. That's an increase, not the total. They're increasing. And they're talking about all of the countries of OPEC at this point. So when you say OPEC, you're talking about Iran, Saudi Arabia, Russia, um, no longer UAE, Qatar. So you're talking about a whole bunch of countries, a lot of like OPEC members. Algeria, Congo, uh, Iraq, Iran, Kuwait, Libya, Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, no longer the UAE. Indonesia, Libya, Algeria, Nigeria, Ecuador, Gabon, Angola, Congo, all of these countries. Ecuador suspended its membership. But all of these countries are going to be increasing, from my understanding. The founding members is Iran, Iraq, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and Venezuela. Subsequent members are Algeria, Equatorial Guinea, Gabon, Libya, Nigeria, and Republic of Congo and Venezuela. So they're all going to be necessarily planning on increasing their production. Um, so the IDF was talking earlier that they have found tunnels. Engineering units have initiated systematic mapping and demolition of advanced subterranean passage network curved under the buffer castle bridge. Military specialists confirm these networks are being structurally imploded to ensure they can no longer be utilized for localized proxy staging operation southern of the Latani River. Meanwhile, in Iraq, the nationwide digital blockade inside of Iran started at 128 consecutive days of active network suspension. Tactical working groups in Tehran continue to uh, migrating critical commercial infrastructure onto global servers, but domestic civilian internet speed remain at under 12%. Earlier this war, internet was almost at a zero, but now there is better internet for the Iranians. Iranians are starting to get access to it, but it's still very slow. That is on purpose so they can control how much information is leaking outside of Iran and how many Iranians are talking to outsiders, so on and so forth. Um, in the beginning of the war, we gave some Iranians Starlinks, but because Iran has good radar systems and stuff, I don't know what they have. They were able to find the people that we gave them Starlink and eliminated them. And those people were essentially our spies for the United States and Israel. And that's how you that's how we that's why there are still people not using it in Iran, if you're wondering about that. Don't ask me how they found them. I didn't know. So see if any more breaking here. I'm looking if there's any breaking news. So Netanyahu came out 14 minutes ago saying that the Trump rift he denies that there is any rift between Trump and Netanyahu, saying that the relationship is fine. Speaking to U.S. media, Netanyahu acknowledged the differences of opinion between the U.S. and Israel, but denied the deeper drift, saying, "We see eye to eye on just about everything. My relationship with the president is fine, and we have to continue of ironing out our differences as allies who respect each other, he added. As reported earlier, Netanyahu said he opposed the sale of F 35s wep- uh, warplane to Turkey ahead of Trump's visit to Ankara. So the United States is planning on selling F 35s to Ankara. Again, Trump and the war complex, they're trying to make money out of any possible way. The U.S. economy is struggling, and yet, guess who's benefiting from that? The 1% of America. I'm not saying don't sell weapons to Turkey. I'm just being honest. If you're just joining, let me give you the latest update. The Israeli army has claimed responsibility for an attack in Lebanon's Nabatia al Fawqa area that killed 4 people. Israeli forces have also bombed homes in the town of Qoni and carried out an air raid in Barat, 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 Baratich, both located in Bent Jabal district. The Lebanese President Joseph Aoun says that the ongoing Israeli assault are preventing the Lebanese Israeli peace framework signing in Washington from being implemented. And that is the group that is closest to Israel. Thousands have poured onto Tehran streets to honor the slain supreme leader. The Trump controlled Gaza border of peace says it has taken note of Hamas uh, disillusion of the body that governs Gaza for nearly 2 decades, but says actions, not promises, will guide this approach in the designed enclave. I don't know what the fuck Trump thinks he's doing in Gaza and how he thinks he's doing it right, but it's stupid. Netanyahu says he posed the sale of F 35s to Turkey, which we already have claimed. So, as you see, Iranians are wanting revenge. The war has not slowed down. The war is not over. As much as everyone likes to claim so, I feel like the Strait of Hormuz might close after the funeral if shit hits the fan. I don't think the funeral is a sign that the war is ending. I don't think the fact that the Iranians are taking a break that means the war is over. This is just for them to take their grievances and respect their supreme leader and put him to rest so they can continue moving on and moving on, basically taking on the United States and Iran and Israel, hashing out this peace deal and stuff. So again, the prices of oil are at 68 for WTI. Brent crude is sitting at 72 and OPEC is sitting at 77. It hasn't changed much, but yes. I'm going to go to your questions. I won't be able to see any of your comments. Wajeeh, are we putting questions here today? Yes, you are. How to determine purple label on polo? It says a purple label on the polo. Thinks we have some purses that may be purple, but don't know for sure. No, it will say purple label. The label is purple, not the clothes are purple. Question: did you see the New York Times report of Mushtaba suffered severe burn? He's at high risk of infection if he leaves. Yes, we answered this. I did not see the report. I should look for it. And if he is, this will make it hard for uh, unification of the Shia people. I can't. We have to wait to see him alive. Do you think we'll wait until he is out of office? For what exactly? Martial law to federalize election? I mean, that would be a very scary thing. You don't want that to happen. Martial law, why? Are we in is the United States under war? Are we under attack on our homeland? You don't have attack on your homeland. Oh my God, why did I say that? Now they're gonna do attack on the homeland. That's stupid. If you're just joining us, make sure you just join that heart button in the bottom right. It tells the algorithm that you're like what you're watching, and it will to show it this live stream to other people so they could join us. I see that we have 267 people. If everyone just clicks share, then that share we have 600 people. So take a second, just click share. It's the three dots on the bottom right and you can share it to everyone. Then join us back. We'll be answering your question. I won't be going anywhere until I answer all your questions and respond to all your comments if I can. So, I got time, even though I have shit to do, but I got you. And you haven't subscribed yet. Why haven't you? You don't like? You don't like me? I am cool guy. If you are in the Twin Cities and you're watching this, let me know you are living in the Twin Cities. I'm trying to create a social gathering for the listeners in the Twin Cities. We'll start with the city that I live in to see if we can create some sort of to see how we could put it together in one city, test it out to see if we can test it out in other cities. But I should probably test it out in the city that I live in first. So we'll be doing gathering in the Twin Cities. We'll be inviting you guys to have a happy hour, order some food, socialize, get to know each other. We'll find somewhere nice. If you are an event planner in the Twin Cities and want to volunteer, please hit me up. I would really appreciate your help. I'm not from here. I don't know the city. My ass would go super expensive because I'm bougie and even though I can't afford it. So I need someone reasonable that knows. My ass would be going to the Four Season. Hi, Four Season. Yes, can I get a reservation? Yes, yes, a reservation. Yes, for a big group. I don't know how many. I want the whole store. Yeah, I want the whole restaurant. That's. I can't do that. I just can't. So if you know how to do event planning, tell me because I need your help. Is there internet block? Is there internet blocked? Um, I'm checking for you. It largely ended on May 2026. So, but the like what I said, it's at 14% capacity, so it's not fast. Really? Did you know that trauma nurses always have a friend and family card? That's cool. You should tell them to get me one, Teresa. I feel weird asking a cop I know to give me one. I don't know how to feel about that. But if it's gifted to me, I'll take it. Avoid avoid the. Of course, you can't be drunk driving and then expect them to give you a green light. No, 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 no. It's just so when they pull you over, you show them the card right away. They're like, okay, 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 we'll take care of you. But you can't be doing stupid shit, stupid crime. Yeah, they'll still take you. But yeah, just Arab and gay and immigrant. Get the connected asshole. you 100,000 versus 3 million per day. Oh, I already answered that. Is the U.S. drilling currently? If so, will we start keeping it instead of selling it? Are you talking about drilling in the Alaska? Because if the U.S. is drilling oil, the U.S. has always been drilling oil. But are they drilling oil in Alaska? That's a different equation. That's a different question. So the United States has also been drilling oil in Alaska, but there's some pristine waters that I'm waiting to hear from. The U.S. is moving toward oil exploration and infrastructure development in parts of Alaska that has not been explored. But I don't know if they started the drilling. They're expanding. They're working on starting to drill. Can firefighters get one? Probably. They're first responders. I feel like first responders are probably included. See if you guys have other questions for me. Um, Tammy, could you find me the news source, not the Instagram, and just take a capture and send it to the picture? Send me a capture of that in the chat instead of the link. I don't click on links for security purposes. I work with a lot of people who have confidentiality. I know people in very secret spots. So I don't click on links. Appreciate you. But if you could send me a screenshot of that, that would be better. Like I can get it if you give me a screenshot. That's all I need. That's what we used to do to avoid the Saudi government from hacking us. Is we asked people to take a screenshot of the link or the website or the story that they wanted us to go to. And because they took a screenshot of the title, the author, we can get it. We can get to it. So this is the smart way of sharing links. If you don't know that you are compromised and don't want to compromise someone else, you share screenshots of websites that you want the others to get to. And you don't click on any link that you get on your text or any links that you get on your email. It's very, very strict. But if you're one of those people who don't want to get hacked and dealing with very important information, inconvenience is the answer. Usually, convenience and technology means you're giving up something, some sort of information. And I tell you, everyone is doing some sort of inconvenience. And if you hire an electronic forensic investigator, almost they can almost find anyone in our Earth. If you are on the internet, they can find you. So at this point, you are found anywhere and everywhere, and decreasing the number of ways that your information is recorded is one of the best ways that you can protect yourself. I'm still trying to figure out. I have to work on myself as well on this, by the way. Using DuckDuckGo instead of Chrome is one important way because DuckDuckGo does not share your information. There is programs like Incogni where you subscribe to them or delete me or other stuff. Or there is another one called Cloak. I'm subscribed to all three. I'm subscribed to Incogni. I'm subscribed to Delete Me, and I'm subscribed to Cloaked because I'm that crazy. What is their job? Their sole job is to go online and find your information and demand the legally to take it down because your information are collected and sold to databases. Your social security, your passport, your phone number, your address is all being sold. And this is not a paid promotion. This is something I use for my own personal safety. There is several type of VPNs out there, some really good, some really bad. Don't use a free VPN because using free VPN actually does collect your information and sell it to databases. So there's no point of having a free VPN. Um, there is one company that doesn't share your information with their VPN, and it is also an email. It's called Proton email. If you can't afford a VPN and need to get your access on a free VPN that doesn't share your information, it is called Proton email or Proton mail. They provide several things. They provide an email that's unhackable and does not share your information, and it also provides a free VPN that does not sell your information if you can't afford it. I am a person that has to go the extra mile, and because I go the extra mile for that security, I pay top dollar for my information to be deleted. Your information is already online. You have to take the extra step of getting those out. Cloak. The nice thing about Cloaked is that um, they can scan the calls before you receive them, but for some reason they don't work. That you have to like open the app. If you're like restarted your phone and you need to open the app and actually get the app activated. But what they end up doing is that they scan every call before the call rings your phone, before you even receive a ringtone, and they only allow verified callers to get to you. So if you're one person that's continuing to receive daily calls that are all advertisement and all trying to get your number and trying to get you to sign up for something, get cloaked. Cloaked is a little bit harder to set up with your phone number, but if you have a younger person or someone that's a little technical in your family, they should be able to help you set it up. But the nice thing about it is they scan everything. What is Cloak? Cloak is a app slash the it's like Incogni, or it's like Delete Me. They offer several services. They offer a VPN. They offer a phone number that you can give to people so that you don't give your own phone number to other people. And then they can guard, which they would essentially do is they scan all of the phone calls that you receive and make sure that they are verified callers that are not callers that basically making sure it's a doctor or someone that's actually kind of schedule an appointment or a friend or family. They make sure that you got that. And if you save those numbers on your phone, that's even better because they always like skip to that and you get the phone number, you get that call immediately. And then they scan your phone to see if you're, they scan the internet and they scan your apps to make sure that you don't have, well, and it also gives you a risk level. I have 4 tasks I need to do. It's saying it because I'm not using their VPN, uh, and because I haven't used my private phone number yet. Uh, up, Update your data. They want, anyways. So they're gonna keep asking you to do certain things, and it gives you a risk assessment, and it gives you a to do list. And when you get anything violated, they let you know. Like if any of your information gets on the dark black market or anything like that or the dark web, they can tell you about it. I hope that's helpful. I'm excited to tell you that we'll be able to apply for my citizenship this coming August. So I'm excited to apply for my US citizenship, and I might need your support with that. Believe it or not, if you make any mistake on your papers now, you get screwed up and you can't fill it up again and you get rejected with this administration. So, what we will need to do is hire a good lawyer, and good lawyers cost at least $5,000. But we'll need to do some fundraising to hire a lawyer who has that kind of money. Um, but yeah, so we'll be fundraising money for my citizenship soon, and I know most of the facts about the American government. I'm just having a hard time memorizing the OSE. It's so old English; it's hard to memorize, but I have to memorize it. So soon we'll be memorizing it. We're finalizing our T-shirt, the class war versus the culture war versus the class war, and we'll be able to publish that soon. Going to see if we can get Professor Piotr back on our show. He just reached out to me, so we'll get that going. We'll be well. I'm going to reach out again to Justice. Again, her husband is in not good health situation, and you know, he was almost killed because of an overdose that they gave him and didn't give him dialysis or anything. So he's in and out. He's not in good shape. He has bad wounds. He's not able to do anything. And so she is literally back and forth with that. And I'm wanting to be as considerate as possible with her time. So if you believe in God or if you believe in energy, if you could send some energy to my friend Ak, I would appreciate it. He's one of the most resilient people I've met in my life. Um, and he has some of the harshest stories I've ever seen. His story begins where he was left as a baby born child. Actually, I wasn't given permission to share that story. So I will hold that story until I get permission to share it. But He's a survivor and he's a fighter. And I only wish him the best. Meanwhile, I don't see any more questions. We can do it for you, Waj. I mean, if you want to do the GoFundMe, sure. It feels less weird when other people do the GoFundMe than when I do the GoFundMe, you know? Um, see if there's a. Thank you, EL. We love your support. I mean, again, you guys give me all the credits, even though that you are here showing up for the class. I'm only here to be an educator, and I wouldn't be here if you guys weren't interested in learning. So, answering your questions, getting to know what kind of questions you guys have or what kind of concerns that haven't been answered is actually something that's helpful. I try to answer your questions before you can think about it about the Middle East. But some days we get extra busy. Like yesterday, we were recording all day, and I had to. By the end of the day, I had to run some errands. By ending running those errands, grabbing the meds, and then grabbing the food, and then coming back home, it was already like 8 or 9 p.m. So, like, when you are a busy person, you're surprised at how fast time passes. And so far, in the past, month or so after my shoulder started getting better, I've been really, really, really busy, and that's not a bad thing. But sometimes I feel like I don't get to do everything I want to do. Oh, wow. You would fly all the way to Minnesota for an event? That's actually, thank you. You too. Okay. I will consider doing one then. Uh, we'll figure something out. If you're an event planner in the Twin Cities, reach out, hit me up. We'll figure something out. I'll put it on the I'll put it in the group chat at some point. So, can we say that the US is going to go back to war with Iran? I think maybe. It's not looking good, in my own opinion. Do we expect the Saudis and the Qataris that America has fell out of favor? Kind of. Is Turkey going to step in? That's the second best thing for these Gulf states. I don't know if France, Germany, or the UK would be a good preference for any of these Gulf states. But if you think about it, you would need if you think about it, you would you would have to wonder how much funding these militaries would need to put their troops on the ground on Saudi Arabia or Qatar or Bahrain. And I wonder if we would see a different combo in each country where you would see like Saudi Arabia be partnered with a country or different company, like different countries would have different bases. I don't know. This is something to be seen in the next few years. It's not going to happen anytime soon, but it will start happening slowly. And the reality is, if you listen to my interview with Deborah Amos, there's a lot of unknowns out there, and the water is very murky. Water is very murky. So we'll see. If you haven't read my article from yesterday, you missed out. If you haven't read my article from the day from before yesterday, you also have missed out. I speak about July 4th. I speak about the Phantom Supreme Leader. Sounds almost like a sandwich name. Um, how the absence of the Supreme Leader might affect the nation of the Shi'i Muslim Ummah. And then I have the article that is from yesterday called The Bureaucratic Autocracy, where we put a focus lens on our own people. We talk enough about the right, we talk enough about the Republicans, 1%, but we haven't really talked about the elite of the liberals. And the reality is, the elite liberals who are considered mostly, if you want to use Al Jazeera term, would they would say in Arabic, الدولة العميقة, the deep state. If you want to say it in a liberal way, you would say, what was it called? Not your base. Your base is your everyday working. What was it? Ya Allah. Give me 1 second. Appreciate your patience. Establishment. The establishment of the Democratic Party, or you want to call it um, the elite of the Democratic Party. You want to call them the deep state of the Democratic Party. There's deep state, there's elite in the Republicans, that also there. But my main focus is the elite and the establishment and the deep state of the Democratic liberal people in the United States at the moment. Because if you don't fix your own house, how do you expect to fix the rest of the country? If you don't start with your own corruption, how do you want the rest of the country to look at you? So what you need to do is find those establishment, elite, deep state, swamps, and kick them out. The first thing is they have no reality check when it comes to everyday American, whether you're on right or left. Reality is They're deeply connected to corporation and corporate interests and private interests before the public interest. Reality is, majority of them are not blue collar. So every time they promise us shit and they don't have a pressure, they don't have the intensity, they don't get the type of wrath that they're supposed to get from not meeting their basic things that they have promised us. As soon as they get in office, we become their cheerleaders. The only person that has the balls to come on national television and criticize the liberal elite is Jon Stewart and Bernie Sanders. One is a clown, and the other one is a politician that's about to die. Jon Stewart works once day a week for his criticism, and unfortunately, we don't have him for the rest of the week. Really, no. Have you ever seen any of the or stand-up comedians or late night host shows actually harshly criticize decision making by the liberal elite or the Democratic Party? No, no one has the balls to. Stewart is amazing. I love Jon Stewart. I'm rallying for him because if our Democratic elite don't get made fun of when they make mistakes, they don't get called out when they make mistakes. Well, I'm not saying cancel their ass. I'm not saying cancel everybody. I don't like cancel culture. I'm saying put them in place. Give them a reality check. The word clown is meant by a comedian. Jon Stewart calls himself a clown. Stephen Colbert calls himself a clown when they got fired. My point is, comedians, clowns are the ones who are bringing reality check to us every day. They're the ones who are making hard news digestible for everyday Americans. They're the ones that help us go through hard times with some laughter. And when their freedom of speech is taken away, we're in deep shit. So, comedians, clowns, when they come out and they criticize people in power, they need to criticize the liberal elite. We really need to put this in reality check. And if they don't do it, we need to do it. Do you know how much money Elizabeth Warren makes? Do you know how much money uh what's um Pelosi made? You know how much money everyone else is making from being in Congress and in being in Senate? Your salary alone without insider trading is about 100,000 plus. This is other than some money for your housing. This is other than the security money that you get. There's other than the funding that other people will give you, other than favors, some secret gifts from here, some secret gifts from there. Why, you didn't hear about the Democratic representative or senator that was getting gold bars from Egypt to carry favors for the Egyptian government and the US Congress? He's being now carried out for uh, criminal charges. We have problem. You need to call it out. So liberal elites who are connected to corporate interests have led us to have oligarchy. It's not only the Republicans. Gi- Blaming only the Republicans for this problem is exactly why we're in the deep shit that we're in. Because every time we think that we're khalas, that's it, we elected Democrats this time. We have Democrats in the House. We have Democrats in the Senate. We have Democrats in the White House. We have Democrats in the Supreme Court. America is going to change. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing happens. You get Obamacare, and then they strip half of it. You get promised a billion thing, you don't get one. You get maybe one thing out of the million. So, if these politicians were under the same stress that you and I are in, of oh my God, am I going to be able to pay the bills for my mom or my grandma at the hospital? Are they going to be able to get treated? Are they going to get mistreated? Am I going to be able to keep them in this housing situation or not? Am I able to pay my electricity bill or not? There are parents literally not eating so they can feed their kids in the United States. Do you think your elected representatives are under the same stress? No, they have absolutely no idea what you're going through. When we say 35 to 40% of Kansas City housing is not up to code and is not up to first world standards, don't have running water, don't have electricity, don't have the basic things that would make any house livable, don't have plumbing for waste, then how do you expect that not all Americans are living in the first world country? You have some Americans living in a first world country and other Americans living in a third world country. Studies have shown that people that live in a certain class have a way longer expectancy than everyone else. Every other class in the United States have very low expectancy. Instead of us holding corporations who have made people addicted to sugar and have made people addicted to the fast food and have made people addicted to chemicals, instead of us holding these companies accountable, passing laws and regulations that put more checks on these things, we're saying, oh, it's okay to be fat. There's nothing wrong with being fat. The problem is that you have corporations that are making us fat, are putting shit in our food that are making our kids from the beginning obese. There are parents that are literally talking to their doctors so they could give some of the weight loss medication to their babies because they already have stage 2 obesity. Exercise doesn't do shit to some people. Some people have thyroid issues. Some of the sugar that's over processed won't go anywhere. What are you talking about? Why are people in Europe not suffering from the same food issues that we're suffering in the United States? To the fact that people who are gluten free sensitive in America, once they go to Italy, they don't have the same problem. Why are you over bleaching your flour? Why are you over processing everything? Why is there corn syrup on every single thing that you consume? Why is chemicals that are extracted literally from crickets and other fucking insects so they can put it in your candy without you knowing and you're eating insects with the syrups and stuff? Y'all need to wake up a little bit. Ask for more regulations. What's happening with the food safety and security? What is it? Tobacco, gun, food security. They're doing everything, mashallah. One government organization. They're supposed to control guns. They're supposed to control the food. They're supposed to. What else? What is this? What is this? What is this? We need a country that is not like we need liberals that's not shaming being fat. That's putting companies responsible. We need people who will not say drug addicts are houseless people, instead holding companies that have spread those drugs to everyone responsible, holding the CIA and the DEA that decided to allow drugs to go through the borders responsible. Why don't we take them to court? The DEA, I don't know if you know, but the DEA purposely allowed fentanyl to come through the United States since the Biden administration until now, so they could hold bigger dealers responsible. So if you have a family or friend member that died because of fentanyl, it is the DEA and CIA and U.S. government responsibility. Yes, it's their fault. Democrat or Republican, doesn't fucking matter. Isn't it American life? Are we complaining and doing drug wars? Then why are you goddamn allowing the drugs to come in? Why are you allowing Americans to die? You can't tell me you care about America and you want liberalism. No, Habibi. I don't have. I know you don't have problem with houselessness and you want to support fight drug issues that is causing it. Help the veterans that are coming without getting any support that they need, and they end up getting in very bad. Did you know about the veterans that are getting beat up under the vets? And when filing reports, the people that beat them up and torture them are still working there months later and getting paid. Are you okay with your veterans being beat up the fuck up after they served their country? We don't take care of our veterans. We don't give them the best care. They became houseless and we judge them for it. You have an issue? You can't tell me America first and leave your veterans get houseless. You can't tell me America first and allow fentanyl to come in, whether you're Democrat or Republican. You can't tell me America first and you are conducting war crimes in South America and war crimes in the Middle East, creating instability where people are going to look to come to America for stability. You don't want people to come to you? Create stability in their own country. Invest in their economy. Create stability. Let them be the ones that they can create better economy for the world. You think they're coming here because they want America? No, Habibi, they have no future left in their country. Well, they're coming here because you did not leave them anything. You created drug wars. You've been in the Middle East wars for since the Cold War. You've been in Vietnam, and you have so many Vietnamese. Where do you think these people come? The Vietnam War, we have so many people came from Vietnam War. The Afghan War, we had so many people come from Afghanistan. The Iraq War, we have so many people come from Iraq. You don't think there's a correlation? You don't think there's a connection? I hear people, so I'm so tired. We have people of color coming from, we are being invaded. Well, you haven't you invaded them first? No, really. Can't you think about the bigger problem? Can't you think of the bigger picture? We have a problem of perspective. We have a problem of perspective. Doesn't matter who the president is, the person, two neighbors, door to door, right? One Republican, the other one is Democrat. When a Democrat is in office, the Democrat who's sitting there, oh, economy is great, we're hiring, there's no issues. And the Republic, oh, they're firing, everything is more expensive. Thing I'll get flipped that way. I'm not talking about today. Today is everything is expensive, really, because of the war, because of actual economic hardship, and everyone is struggling, not just Democrats, right, or Republicans. Now, you ask Republicans, and you can see this today. You go tell them, how is the economy? Oh, the economy is great. Oh yeah, we're taking care of business. Khalas, tomorrow we'll have cheap oil. Oh, they're hiring still. I don't know why lazy people don't do anything. Democrats say the same thing once a Democrat is elected. Since when is it your job to be the cheerleader of your elected official? Since when is it your job to fall in love with the elected officials? They're not your Justin Bieber. They're not Beyonce. They're not Taylor Swift. They're not holding concert. They do things for populism. Yes. They do things to get elected. Yes. We appreciate their job. Yes. But that is their job. That is their job. I don't know why we thank people for doing their basic jobs. Thank you for doing your job. Yes, yes. Thank you for doing. It's like when a student hands their homework in, and you're like, "Thank you, student, for handing your homework in." You get bonus points for handing your homework in. They're handing their homework in. You're supposed to be the one grading that homework. You're the one supposed to be grading, not them. You're the one supposed to be paying attention. Oh wow, interesting. Hmm. It's cool and all to meet people in power and be, and take pictures and all, but you have to put a reality check. This is person doing their job. They're not doing you a favor. When you go to a senator who represents you and you're like, I have a document, paperwork, and this governmental building, it hasn't passed. Legally, this representative or this senator, it's their job to follow up with this governmental organization on your behalf. Did you know that? When I was applying for my citizenship, for my asylum case, and when I was having issues with some of my documents, I reach out to my representatives and senators, write them a letter, and then they send someone phone call that works in their office. Specifically, their job is to follow your documents and your issues with whatever governmental organizations you're having issue with. You should do that next time you have an issue. Sometimes it solves the problem. Opiate crisis. You're the woman. The other day, because I've done 10 surgeries on my right wrist, and I have taken so many medication, I don't take any opioids. My surgery was April 22nd. I don't take any opioids. I was looking for a lawyer, and this lawyer sent this appraisal guy. He was looking at my records. He goes, "You're a opioid addict." Why? He says I'm an opioid addict because I was given the thing that you put in the nose so you can squirt it. So if by God forbid I get an overdose, my husband or anyone gives it to me. But I never had a drug problem. They just automatically give it to everyone now that gets opioid medication. Narcan, yes. Now, anyone that takes opioid after surgery, they automatically give them Narcan home. Now, this motherfucker looked at the Narcan and goes, "Oh, yeah, you're a drug addict." What you mean I'm a drug addict? Yeah, yeah, you're a drug addict. You have Narcan on your medication list. Go find you another lawyer. Even when you're looking for lawyers, they don't have the right. Yeah, I don't know, man. We got some issues in this country. I was looking for a lawyer for a work comp for my left shoulder. I found a good lawyer, but that was an interesting interaction. He didn't want to do his job. He wanted me to do everything on his behalf. He wanted me to get documents. He wanted me to prove things. The medical industry in the United States, if you don't have money, if you don't have connection, you're screwed. But if you have money and you have connection, you can have the best healthcare in America, in the world. If you're the Saudi king, going to the Mayo Clinic and stay in the St. Mary Suites, oh, you're missing out if you haven't been to the St. Mary Suites. You sick and you want to go somewhere after surgery, you go to the St. Mary Suites. You get your own bath, you get your own shower, you got your own chef, you got your own nurse, you got your own dinner room, you got a whole fucking yeah, you get your own concierge. You can order whatever you want for lunch or dinner. Yeah, you pay your medical bills and then $1,000 extra, $1,100 extra for every day. Now, if you're the king, you take the whole floor. You reserve the whole floor and you don't allow anyone else. But if you're a celebrity, you just take the room. If you're a regular person, you just take a room. And then the king brings his own chefs, of course. He brings his own cooks. He brings his own entourage, his own security, shuts down the whole floor. That happens at the Mayo Clinic all the time. Everyday people have to deal with the nurse that has to cover maybe 5, 10 patients. If you are an emergency, if you need, and even then, when I was at the St. Mary's Suite at the Mayo Clinic, when I was I was mistreated. I had the pain management plan for after the surgery. I was supposed to have patient control medication. I was supposed to have certain medication. Really, the plan was made by a doctor. There was a pain management plan. They did not follow up on any of the plan. For the first 3, 4 hours, I was under severe pain, and I was in the St. Mary's suites. That's like their VIP suites. Now imagine I was in the regular suite as a colored person. And that's the best hospital in America. We have issues. This country has issues. I can't imagine that. Where? How do you think I got staph infection on my right wrist? In Kansas City, I was doing voter education for the November ballot on September 6th of 2018. Guy came out of their house, attacked me and my boss. I got a really bad accident on my right wrist. My bones, this one was going this way, this one was going that way, this one was literally pulled that way, like this. And even then, they took a month to get me to a surgeon. My bones were crushed up. They were not in place. They took me a goddamn month to put me in surgery. They did not even move the bones. They did not do anything. Did not give me medication. Doctor puts 4 screws, 15 stitches. Comes time to take the screws off. You could tell my hand is inflated. You can tell that it looks infected. Pus is coming out. What does the doctor do? He said, I remove 1 screw every month or something like that. And I'm like, okay, could you numb my hand up? Could you put antibiotic? No, we don't have numbing medication for you. 4 times, excruciating pain, pulling screws out of my bones without any numbing medication. I couldn't sue them. The lawyer didn't do shit. And the laws in Missouri for suing doctors is designed on the favors of the doctors. So you have to find the same exact injury with the same exact treatment with the exact same with exact or different results so you can compare them in court. Otherwise, you don't have a case. That's how stupid the law is. Well, he removed the four screws. My head kept getting expanded, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I tell him, I call him, I tell him there's something wrong. There's nothing's wrong. I call the insurance, I tell them I need a second opinion. They send me exactly to the same exact doctor. Nothing is wrong. Comes to a point where I can't even hold or use my hand or touch anything. That's how fat my hand was getting. And then I go to the ER. They're like saying, "You're lucky you're still alive. You're this close from us cutting your hands off." I had to do surgery right the next morning. I had an open wound for months because they were packing it and unpacking it at pick line. Racist ass motherfucking doctor that purposely was mistreating me. And there's reasons why I say he's racist. Just the way the treatment went, the way they were treating. You could tell I was treated different than other people. This is American healthcare. This is American healthcare, where doctors, without telling you, test shit on you. I couldn't sue him. I tried to sue him. The lawyer couldn't find the exact same case. They hired the doctor, and you have maybe 2 or 4 years of years after the injury to sue them, and then khalas, you can't sue them. That's the law in Missouri. I can't do anything about it. This is supposedly the best country in the world. So I almost died because of that. Had PICC line twice, and I did 10 surgeries on my right wrist. And I don't know if I might have to do more in the future. You remember I wanted to be your nurse case manager to handle that for you. Wait, how do you do that? I don't even know. Yeah, you see, I don't even know what that means. Got second opinion. I needed a hand surgery. I guess I'm lucky. My doctor was Egyptian. What do you do? What do you do? Yeah. So, do I have an experience with the health system in America? I do. Is there any other questions here? The only reason I'm telling you this story is not because I'm complaining. I'm telling you this story is because I'm telling you the experience of how horrible the medical industry in the United States has become. That's that's the only reason I'm telling you about all this. All right, Teresa, we'll talk about it then. I need a whole team giving that insurance hard time. The phone calls alone are hours. Like I needed to schedule 4 appointments one time. It took me about 3 hours just between calling people, finding the right time, getting transferred, being on hold, all of that until you wait your turn. That's 3 hours. And, that prevents me from doing writing or anything like that. But that's the struggle, man. That's the struggle. Someone has to speak truth to the reality. And again, I live in, I'm being mistreated with some of my health here in Minnesota, and that's a democratic state with better health laws and supposedly the best hospitals in the country. Just reminding you, like, this is the best the country has to offer, and it's still horrible. Like, I'm just trying to make a point. If this is the best that we have to offer, what does the worst look like? BDSM type of situation? Yes, step into an ER, they'll charge you 30K. Teresa is on our end. That's right. See if I have any questions or comments here in my channel. Wajeeh, this one source I sent you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I'll have to do more digging. Thank you for the video. Thank you for the picture. What's my forwarding address? People want to send things. I'll add the forwarding address to my Substack chat today. How about that? I supposedly figured things out with them. I'll call them one last time to triple check that everything is good. But I think it's good time for me to cut out so I can go do my other duties of the day. Appreciate you all for tuning in. And as you know, I always like to say, you may not fuck with politics, but politics will always fuck with you. Make you sure you like, subscribe, and comment. If you're watching this on YouTube, you're definitely watching a recording. Make sure you subscribe, also leave a comment, and then come join us on Substack. We have an amazing community that is focused on grassroots organizing, focused on making this world a better place, wanting to learn every day, wanting to make a difference every day. It's amazing how this community has grown. Don't feel like you're an outsider. Don't feel like you have to just watch from the outside and introduce yourself. We have amazing group of people that just want to welcome everyone else. Again, if you're an event planner, reach out to me. I'm looking for event planners to help me set up a meet and greet with everyone in the Twin Cities and anyone that wants to come over. Uh, if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider becoming a subscriber. If you haven't watched my interview yesterday with Deborah Amos, you definitely missed out. It's on YouTube. It's also on Substack. We talked about some of the most hard topics. Deborah Amos is an insider when it comes to human rights violations and if it comes to the news. She's an international news correspondent for NPR, was a professor at Columbia University, and currently a professor at Princeton University for journalism. She's renowned, respected for her opinion, and you will need to watch it so you can stay up to date. If you haven't subscribed to her, please subscribe to her. We're trying to convince her to come back and write more articles for us on Substack. And I think you will want to find out who is she following. One of the best tips she gave, and like that's a tip that I've been using for a very long time. And like I'm like, oh wait, I've been doing that. And what I do and what she does is we go around and we look at what reputable, trustworthy news anchors and news investigators, who are they following in each country? And we go and we follow who they're following because these people end up becoming our sources of information, and they become and our insider access to a lot of these information. So that was one of the good tips that she gave to people, is that you're looking for sources, you're looking for people that you want to get, like raw information from. Look at who we are following. Look at who is Malcolm following. Look at who's Jacob is following. Look at who Deborah Amos is following. I have investigative journalists that people usually don't know, like Sebastian Usher from the BBC. He's a great insider when it comes to Saudi Arabia, especially talking to regular people. Um, that's like investigate. He's a friend of mine. I talked to him. I've been talking to him as soon as I started becoming outspoken. Those are the type of people that you want to look for because they're not looking to speak with most important people. They're looking to speak with the commoners that have regular informations. That's how you get your sources. So Deborah Amos is an insider. She provided amazing insight to what's happening in Syria. She provided amazing insight to where Syria started and where it became. We talked about modern slavery a little bit and talked a little bit about her experience. We really dove into Jamal Khashoggi and the Saudi government. Electronic flies versus the Saudi opposition beehive and the real reason why Jamal Khashoggi was assassinated. We talked about all of these things, and that's why I strongly recommend you to watch it. If you don't want, if you're like wondering what's the one video that I definitely don't need to miss this week, it would be that one. Make sure that you see that, and we'll see you tomorrow. And I'll be working on writing you guys an article sometime today. I'll see you guys later. مع السلامة. Bye bye. وبالإنجليزي goodbye.